Greetings and welcome to the 7th review in our Christmas sample series. I'd like to welcome again Luca. Thanks for coming, mate.
Hi, guys.
And today we're going to have a look at the Partagas Presidente. There it is. If you can see it. It's an odd shape, that cigar, but we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
What do you think about the cold draw before we lit it up?
It was really promising. I loved it. It had a Partagas kind of sourdough note and a bit of a barnyardy kind of flavour and a coffee flavour in there, which is really interesting. So, yeah, and I think you could say almost the same for what you picked up.
Yeah, I mentioned that it had that typical Partagas coffee sourdough type of flavour married with a more like a you were saying a dusty barnyard.
Yeah, like a dusty barnyard.
Yeah,
flavour.
but I was thinking more like a bit like that, or a bit like a hay type barnyard, like a bit more raw than the refined barnyard that you might get in a Cohiba or something like that. But so
really good. And the draw was really good on the cold draw. Really,
it was excellent.
It wasn't didn't feel restricted or anything. And obviously lighting it up because of that tapered foot. If you guys have had cigars like this with that type of foot, it did take a bit of time just to get the smoke output going, get the draw and the burn going. Mine's starting to open up a bit more now. I think yours is as well. So now it's smoking pretty well after it went through that first half an inch, so to speak.
I was just going to remark, sorry folks, I just lost my train of thought there for a second, but I was just going to remark on the shape of the cigar. I think the common name for it is a Perfectos, and all those Cohiba cigars are like that. Solomonis is like that. You've had that before, Luca.
Loved it.
Yeah. I think the factory name, if I haven't got them confused, is
Tarkos.
Yes, Tarkos. So
yeah.
It's 47 ring gauge by 158 mils in length, but like you said, the most important thing to realise is that there's a very small opening at the foot of the cigar, and you just light that up. Try not to char the wrapper, which I failed. Admittedly, I failed. I tried not to.
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm used to lighting a cigar bigger surface area with a normal foot.
Absolutely.
But and I've got to remind myself not to puff on it too much because that'll heat it up a lot. So it takes time to start off.
Yeah.
With this type of format.
Yeah.
And this is the old school traditional format.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that
as well.
This review, what that actually means, because I'm going to tell you, folks, for those of you that know, the Presidente is really well. You'd be familiar with what the term old school flavors means. And I'm going to tell you straight off the bat that this is not that. This is something different, and we'll talk more about that in the review. But talking about old school flavors, when we refer to that, we're referring to a concept that was defined what Habano cigars were. Maybe in the late 80s, more in the 90s, early 2000s, more in the 90s.
Before they changed the leaf?
Yes, before they changed.
I don't know when they did it.
Yes.
I remember.
I think they had an infamous time in 98 or 99, 2000 where they experimented with blends, and that, not surprisingly, it was a complete and utter disaster. And they had to go back to the drawing board. But when we talk about old school flavours, and we talk about those flavours back from then, what we're talking about is cigars that really packed a punch. And there were certain cigars that were famous for this. One of them was the Partagas Presidente, the Partagas 898 varnished, the Romeo Julieta Cazadores, and believe it or not, even the short filler handmade Partagas Chicos.
Oh, okay.
Yes, what they call like ICT cigar. So if you know what I'm talking about, if you're into Cohiba shorts, exactly the same. A short filler there.
It's a bit longer than the Chicos.
Is it? Yes, right.
Just a little bit longer, but
yeah. So they were known as cigars that had old school flavours, but
it's very unique, very different. They're
stronger.
Yeah, Yeah.
Bolivar was a marker that was known as embodying the old school flavour. I want to add though, on the forum, if you look up, if you type up old school, and our friends at Urbanus do a search, you'll get a thread on it from I think 2010, and in that thread, interestingly enough, people do talk about what we're talking about here. In terms of old school flavours representing cigars that were stronger. But one thing that Small Club put out there, and I'd have to agree with him, and he mentioned, Luca, that old school doesn't, for him, didn't necessarily it wasn't just limited to flavours that were stronger or cigars that were stronger, but he also mentioned cigars that were, had a distinctive refinement. I could be wrong in the word I'm choosing, but he mentioned like H. Upmann, for example. It had a very distinctive refinement about it that he considered old school, that where the H. Upmann today is different. But that's what we mean by old school.
Yeah, okay.
But I want to say from the first third, and let me just draw on it again. I am going to credit 99 Call because he's on the forum. He's smoked a few of these, and he's been saying that they have a bit of a marshmallow or vanilla.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a Fonseca 1 element to them, a sweetness there. And I'm going to tell you, folks, that is 100% correct. That is in there. There's no other way to describe it. And for me personally, it's glorious. If I could get Partagas like this all the time, I'd be in heaven. It is not the old school earth or leather or strong in spice. This is not it at all in the first half, in the first third, I should say, for me.
When I think of it, after you said that, I'm getting that marshmallow, a little bit of that marshmallow taste, and I think it was good timing to have this because I recently went through a box of Fonseca 1 in 2018, and so I remember that type of flavour profile. I'm not getting the vanilla yet, maybe later on, but yeah, there is that marshmallow in there. It's really interesting.
It might not be vanilla. It might be I think of a sweetness. I describe it as vanilla. Yeah, maybe a little bit of it. I could describe it as that for me. But yeah, I think marshmallow. Let's agree on that. It's definitely got that sort of marshmallow airiness and sweetness.
It does have a sweetness.
Yeah.
In that on the palate, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
I think that's mainly what I'm getting, and a little bit of the
sourdough
in there, and the coffee.
It is there.
It's there. That's a great combination.
But how would you compare it? I mean, for our people watching, from the first, what's the difference between this and the E2? This has got to be more sweeter.
This is way more sweeter.
Way more sweeter,
yes.
folks. If you've got a sweet tooth,
give
us a crack.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's way more sweeter than the E2. So,
yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to smoke well through the first third, and we're going to come back when we're halfway, well into the second third, and give you our further thoughts. Okay, welcome back, folks. We're into about halfway there, and I'm absolutely loving this. I'm not going to even sugarcoat it. I really, really love this cigar.
Yeah.
Look at your thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, loving it. It's still continuing with that marshmallow coming through, and that shortbread's just really, really, really pronounced, and that nice bit of a coffee flavour too, still there. And I've gotten a bit of strength that I've noticed has picked up in the cigar. It's not bowling me over, but it's a nice pickup around the halfway point here as well. So really good. What about yourself?
Really good. Yeah. I'm thinking it's got that, like that marshmallow, like you said. It's got that coffee and sourdough. It's Partagas E2 or Lusitanius, with a Fonseca number 1. And I do think 99 Call is right on the mark with what this is. I'm a bit surprised by that, but yeah, that's what it is, folks. So if you are inclined to favour the sweet side of flavours in cigars, if that's your thing, I would recommend that you get your hands on this. Definitely.
Yeah.
So we were both saying while we were smoking through the first third that when we were smoking through the first third, for us both it was just behind the punch in terms of how much we were enjoying it. It was that good, and it still is.
Yeah, and it hasn't missed a beat at all, compared to some cigars we've had recently.
Yeah,
it's going great. It's a little bit hot near the cherry. It's got a bit of a sting to it, so I'll probably just limit my puffing. But the smoke's coming through really nice and cool.
I think like the E2. I never really detected spice. The one thing I do equate with Partagas is some element of spice or pepper, but not really. Not
with this.
Not with this. Not really.
This one.
No.
It's almost completely different to what most Partagas tastes like.
Yeah.
And have you had the Salamones?
I've not had the Salamones. No. I've had so these cigars. Talking about the shape of these cigars, we called them Perfectos before. Or the Coaba are like that. The Salamones is like that. So
Salamones is a powerhouse,
right?
Flavour and strength.
It's different to this. I've not had it.
Yeah, they're really nice. I picked up a 2-pack from Rob recently. I love both of them. Brilliant, and you got to take your time with them.
Yeah,
they've got a long, big smoke.
In terms of strength, I would equate it to the most recent Partagas that I've had the most of would be the Lusitanias. This would be stronger than the Lusitanias. Lusitanias definitely milder than this. Talking about a cigar that's 1 year old, I'm talking about. But it's not. I don't know. It's around the medium, I suppose.
Medium body.
Yeah. You reckon?
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be about the medium.
Yeah.
It's not. It's definitely not a full body smoke. It's not. It's not going to knock you.
Over.
It's not. This is not going to do that.
And mine's already auto-corrected itself a bit. Which is good.
My burn's been fantastic.
Yours has been razor sharp the whole way through.
Absolutely.
And it is a bit. Well, I was going to add. There's a tiny bit humid today. We had heaps of rain yesterday. But it hasn't affected how these are smoking either. So
no, we've had a bit of relief from the heat, folks. So we're thinking about all you fine folks that have had to put up with the polar vortex, which is in the news right now at the time of this video, that has made cities like Chicago minus 30 degrees Celsius.
Crazy,
crazy weather. Type of weather you get in Alaska in the middle of winter. It's when you get a cup of boiling water, you throw it out, it becomes ice. This sort of stuff. But we've had this week in Sydney, we've had a few close to 100 degrees in the old Fahrenheit scale, 37 degrees, 38 degrees.
Yeah,
and really haven't been conducive to
40.
Cigars. Yeah,
went up past 40 degrees.
And I don't know about you, Luca, but I'm just not going to smoke a cigar in that sort of heat.
I try.
Yeah,
but unless it's late at night, which is the best time. But even then, it can be a bit difficult.
Can be done. I mean,
yeah.
I think about American friends too in the middle of winter in the north of America that find it difficult to smoke in cold conditions. That's even harder. You can do it when it's hot. I mean, we did it last week. We caught up at Buzz and a few of our friends last week, and it was probably 33. It was probably 34, the 95 degrees Fahrenheit. But we were able to get through, and then a cool change came.
That made it a lot better. It was much better, more pleasant to smoke in.
More pleasant.
Yeah.
But going back to the shape of this cigar, the Perfecto. So it has like a closed foot. There's a small opening to light the head of the cigar, but the foot of the cigar. Sorry. But the head, both Luke and I opted, without even talking to each other, to V-cut this. So that's my preference. It might not be yours, but have a think about that. All the Torpedo cigars.
I V-cut all of them.
Yeah. I do too now. The Torpedos or Perfectos, these rounded cigars at the end that don't have a straight head, like a Pareo. most cigars are Partagas with a straight head. The ones that are rounded, I just V-cut all the torpedoes.
Some Demitas I do. Some like El Rey de Mundo Demitas or the HDM du Maire.
What we want to show you is, and if I was thinking about it, if we could just show, if you just turn your V-cut that way, if you could see that, the reason mine's deeper, so if you're interested in a V-cut, I had got a Zycar V-cutter. I had used one for ages, and one that Luca used, but this is caused by a Calibri V-cutter, which is just way deeper. So I find
I wish I got
just
one of
perfect
those.
for a Monty 2 or for this.
Yeah, they do a really good, really deep V-cut. I might look at buying one.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to come back in the final third and give our conclusions, conclusionary thoughts. So we're on into our last third, folks, and for me, it's just been fantastic. It's in terms of strength, it hasn't really deviated too much. I'm just loving this.
Yeah, same flavours throughout. They've been really consistent.
Yeah.
And just a really nice burn. Mine corrected really well again. Yeah, no complaints here. I love them.
I'm getting that marshmallow sweetness.
Sweet marshmallow.
Or even at this point into the last third, guys. Just fantastic.
Retrohale is really smooth. Get a bit of a.
You're right.
It's a bit of a coffee on the retrohale. It's nice.
There's no
rough edges.
Or rough edges.
No spice.
Very easy.
No spice like that Partagas spice we know.
Absolutely.
It's really good. Very different to what we usually get from Partagas.
Yeah.
Very happy with this. So, and I can see it. I still see it as the younger brother of compared to the Salamone.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
So Salamone's turned up a notch.
Am I right in saying it's your first Presidentes? Because I got to come out and say I can't remember if I've ever had a Presidente before. It might have only been one, or I can't. This could be my first one. I'm not 100% sure. If I had one before, it was non-distinctive, and I do remember it. So I definitely knew with the E2 I hadn't had that before, but out of the regular production cigars, I've had quite a number of them across the markets, but as I've said before in the video review series, Partagas, don't know what it is. There's certain Partagas that I really like, and I tend to gravitate to and go for, but this might not have been one that I've really gone for or know about. So if that's the case for you, now you can watch this review and you can hear about it for yourself, that these are something that you should think about putting in your humidor.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To have that variety there, something different to try, especially in this size format. Yeah.
Yes.
And smoke time's been up around probably for I think what we started at.
About an hour so far.
About an hour, yeah. But almost just on an hour. So
5 minutes to finish it. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
And how's the heat on the end? So it's pretty. Mine's not.
I
hot.
don't have one issue whatsoever.
You know when it's
touching it there.
Yeah, it doesn't sting.
It doesn't sting my fingers at all. There, I feel pretty much there. I feel nothing. So it's burning perfectly.
Yeah,
absolutely perfectly. The ash is perfect for me. Very happy.
Yeah, and a lot of that's what I forgot to mention. Not so much now, but before there was a lot of foot smoke. So it was that's what we both got with this one.
Yeah.
Lots of foot smoke.
Yeah.
Really thick smoke.
Yeah. Okay, so Partagas Presidente is so happy. Thank you, El Prez, for putting these up in the 2018 Christmas Sample Series. We're going to leave it there, and we look forward to meeting you again in the next video review. Until then, happy smoking.
See you guys. Thank you.